Hi, and welcome to the next episode of We Built This White Lake. My name is Stephanie Ware, Executive Director with the White Lake Area Chamber and Visitors Bureau, and I am very excited to have with me today 3 of the members of the Montague-Whitehall Rotary Club. Actually, I guess 4 members, because I am a part of that.
You are a part.
Okay.
That's true.
But we have 3 who will be speaking on the history today. So if I can have you all go around and introduce yourself and your role within Rotary.
Do you want to start with me, or let's start with Esther?
Hi, I'm Esther Baldridge, and I'm privileged to be this year's president of Rotary. And it's been a real joy to be able to lead such a fine group of people.
Thank you, Esther.
My name's Amelia Isatan, and I am a new member and recently elected for treasurer-elect for next year.
True.
And my name is Brent Rath. I am the president-elect of the Rotary, and I've been a member now for about 3 years, something like that. So glad to be here.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we're just going to jump right in. Go ahead and tell us what it is that Rotary does, a little bit about the organization.
Well, go ahead, Esther.
We bring people together in the community who want to make a difference for our community and for the world. And everyone who is a member of Rotary has a servant's heart and wants to improve our environment. And I'm just so impressed with what this particular Rotary Club does with youth. That is a phenomenal part of what our club does. We one of the landmark things we do is our exchange program, and I was really excited to meet Amelia because she comes to us as a Rotarian, having been an exchange student. And Amelia, you might want to talk a little bit about your experience there.
Absolutely. It was the Montague-Whitehall Club that actually sponsored me when I was a junior to go to Turkey. And I lived there for 11 months. And I thought that that was a one and done thing, but what I didn't realize is how it was going to change the trajectory of my life. I ended up living there for almost 15 years, and I got my education there. I had so much luck and so much experience that I gained from living there, and it was all thanks to the Montague-Whitehall Rotary Club. And so when I came back, I wanted to be a part of that and give back to what had helped me so much.
Yeah. I think that segues well into, we've done some visioning and some planning, and our club mission is to unite, serve, and give both locally and globally. And I think that that's, through exchange, that's through service of time, that's through dollars. I think our club does a great job of that. And I mean, Amelia is a testament to global reach just from our little local town, little community. So, yeah.
That's great. So tell us a little bit about how the Montague-Whitehall Rotary Club started, where it all began.
Everybody's going to look around. It's like we don't know a lot about how it started and where it began. I think one of the things Esther's working on, and she talked about it yesterday at our meeting, was really figuring out the history. We have a 75th anniversary coming up. Is that next year or the year after? Next year, year after. Is it this year?
It would be in 29.
29. Okay, so it's a few years out, but yeah, that's right.
But it's going to take us that long because we're going to have to go through board minutes.
Yeah, so we don't, short of the minutes, we don't have a lot of information. We know the club was founded in 1954. We know that it's been around for a long time, and they've been meeting consistently during that time, different locations around town. I believe it's always been a joint community club, or was it 2 separates that joined together?
As far as I know, that's part of our history, because I tossed out the idea briefly about should we change our name to the White Lake Rotary Club, and I saw there was history there.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have to find out what it is.
Yeah. So that's something I think we're trying to dig into, Stephanie, is to try to figure out, hey, what is the history of the Montague-Whitehall Rotary Club, and where did we come from, and who were the founders. And what we do know is that there's a lot of stuff around town that are things that the Rotary invested in and helped to create that have been around for a long time. The most visible one is one of the bandshell, right? But the gazebo and the ice skating shed and different trail markers and different things that we've done around town that have been around for a long time. I mean, I believe the bandshell, for example, predates me, and I'm 47, so it's the club's been doing great things for a long time. So, yeah.
Yeah, our most recent visible thing in the community was a kiosk at the Duck Lake trailhead.
Yeah.
And so that's visible. What's not visible is last night a group of Rotarians met together and we went through 28 scholarship applications from Whitehall and Montague High School. And my goodness, that was tough. And each, we talked about, gee, can we only give $6,000? The scholarships are $1,000 each. And it was so hard to narrow it down to just six that we wanted to give. But those scholarships that we do each year, it's not a ton of money when you look at the cost of going to college, but it does help.
Yeah, every little bit helps.
I'll interject here and say that I was also a recipient of a Rotary scholarship back in the day. And I remember receiving that money and buying a laptop. So that was an important purchase for college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It all adds up.
Yeah. Yeah. My first go at a master's degree was harmed because I did not have access to a computer.
So Esther, were you successful in whittling it down to?
We did. We couldn't leave until we did. So
How long were you in the room?
we got done in about an hour.
Yeah. Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Well, and also I know when the splash pad over in Goodrich Park opened a couple years ago, Rotary, I believe, sponsored, was it the benches?
Yep.
Yeah.
So it seems like if there's a big community project that's happening, even if Rotary is not heading it, Rotary will jump on board to do something with it.
And the fire pit on Mears.
Oh,
I think that might have been since I came to town
Yeah.
okay.
that was done.
So we never like to really talk about the hurdles, but it is a part of our history for every business and organization. So what would you say are some of the biggest hurdles that the Montague-Whitehall Rotary Club has had to overcome?
Membership. I came to the White Lake area in 21, so right in the middle of COVID. And my understanding is before COVID, we definitely had like 20 to 30 additional members. And having a smaller membership makes it harder to do as much for the community as we used to do. And so one of the big hurdles is membership, getting that back up.
I don't think that's a local problem either. That's definitely a global problem, and it's not just limited to Rotary. It's Lions, Optimists, like any Kiwanis, any club that you can think of, community clubs, they're all struggling right now with membership. And part of that is the club figuring out ways to meet people where they need to be met. I think we've changed as a society somewhat, and the things that people looked for, throughout the last 30 or 40 years are different than they are now. And so figuring out what that looks like while retaining current membership, it's certainly a challenge, I think. It was in the Pels training that I went to in Kalamazoo, it was a big topic of conversation across the groups. One thing I was surprised with was actually how I thought we were a really tiny group. And a vast majority of groups are 15 people and under. And so we're not actually that small. And that's kind of what I found out. Comparison's the thief of joy, right? Like you look at Muskegon and they're 250 people and you think, oh, we're just this little we're actually not that small. Almost every group I talk to, we're smaller from a membership perspective than us, except for a select few. So, but members that's a big hurdle, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, we're currently at 35 members.
So if you're watching this and you want to join the Montague-Whitehall Rotary Club, you should do that.
The other thing we struggle with is people want to provide service, but when the rubber meets the road and it comes down to we need help to get XYZ done, a lot of people say, well, I have other things that I have to do during that time. And perhaps we haven't landed on the service projects that really increase the passion of the membership so that they're going to make it a priority. I think that's something we really have to look at in our service to the community is where is the passion of our group? And one of the passions clearly is in our youth program because it's so robust.
Yeah. For me, just looking back too, I would say I did not, I was not a scholarship recipient and I didn't do the exchange program. I was not a phenomenal student in high school. It wasn't bad, but I wasn't great. I didn't know what Rotary was for years. I played in the Rotary Scramble in Shelby at Oceana Golf Course for a long time, and that's pretty much what I knew of Rotary. My assumption was that it was kind of a club, an elitist club that, I don't know. Like, I don't know but definitely not service above self and definitely not as community focused and service related as it is. And so I think things like what we're doing here right now are super, super important to get the word out that we're a bunch of like-minded individuals who want to give back and want to help and want to grow. So if that's something that you want to do, this is the right organization for you. And I don't know we definitely need to do a better job locally and globally to make sure that people understand that. So I think that's a hurdle as well. People have misconceptions about what the club actually does.
Rotary people used to refer to it as a bunch of Romeos.
Yeah.
And what a Romeo is retired old men eating lunch together.
There's no Ellen Romeo, Esther.
Eating often.
I'm going to have to figure.
Eating often would track.
Yeah.
I mean,
Retired
we do eat
old
It would.
men eating out.
Oh, okay.
Romeo. Yeah, retired old men eating out.
That makes sense.
And that's because Rotary for years and years was a man's group. Mm-hmm. And I was in a large club in Ohio. I was the 12th woman in and the third president in that club because women were so new to Rotary. So...
And with hurdles in any organization, we always hope there's more victories. So what would you say are some of the biggest victories?
Ooh, I have this one. This is a personal one for me. My father was diagnosed with polio the year before the vaccine came out. And so he never had a chance to ever fight the disease like we've been able to, right? Mm-hmm. And what people don't realize is that polio vaccination distribution has been headed by Rotary International. So I am very grateful for Rotary for making sure that the rest of the world has the opportunities that we have had so that no one has to live with that disease anymore.
Yeah.
Terrific.
That's an amazing accomplishment by Rotary.
Yeah, that is absolutely is.
Yeah, that really, internationally, that's a signature piece of Rotary, most definitely.
That just shows you, I think, that it's not just a community program. There's international outreach for disease prevention, but we also hear presentations all the time about local clubs doing work for water purity in other countries. And we see the work that is being done all over the place. It doesn't just have to be for the local community. It's everything. It's the environment. It's our education. It's our social development. There is something for everyone to be passionate about in Rotary. You will find a cause that speaks to you.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, and I think, from a win perspective, just Amelia's story is an example of impact. And I'm a little weird. I look local for global impact, right? Like, and so the changes and the things that we do here actually have maybe a global or even a regional reach through the way that we serve kids in the community and their ability to go out and do great things. I mean, I'm getting old enough now to realize that, my energy and my ability to change things is now stored in those that I'm able to help enable for them to do things in the future. My kids, their friends, the young people in our community. And I think that especially our club has a very, very youth-focused view. And for me, that's the thing that I think is we can be super proud about, right? Like, how do we enable the next Amelia to do great things as well? And I love that piece of it. So.
And while we do a lot locally, and Brent's totally right, we also have a global focus, and our club just committed $2,500 to hand wash. And hand wash, I really love. It's a clean water program in Haiti.
Yep.
And what I love about hand wash is the sustainability of it. Often people will go into a country like Haiti and build a well, and then they leave. And what happens with all things mechanical is they break down, they wear out. And when it's just us coming in, doing good, and giving them a well, nobody is invested in making sure that that well works. In hand wash, the well doesn't happen until the local Rotary Club and the local people invest in making it happen and have full ownership of that well. And then once they have invested in the concept and in the project, then we come in with money to support that effort. And it's proved to be sustainable and gives water long-term rather than short-term relief.
So global impact, local impact, even locally, you've talked about the band shell, which has been around for a long time.
Yeah, it has.
Think of locally that impact. It's been decades of a free summer concert series and decades of memories for not only people who visit the area, but move to the area and maybe where certain artists got their start, and so it's such a lasting impact in this community too that Rotary has had.
Yeah, for sure.
On June 10, Rotary will be sponsoring that free concert for the community. So not only did we build the structure, but we also provide the funds to make it useful to the community.
Absolutely.
So I guess we've kind of already answered this, but how would you say overall the Montague-Whitehall Rotary Club has impacted the community?
Yeah, I feel like we answered that. I think it's got a big impact on the community. I think the hard part with anytime you serve, the hard part is you don't always see the results of your service, and so you don't know the impact you might have made. I think with Rotary, you get both. There's a whole bunch of stuff that you don't see that you've had impact in, but there's also these things that you can see. So I think it's both. And I think the White Lake area is better for having a Rotary Club, and I hope that we're able to sustain that and to keep that and to grow it and to reignite maybe that interest. I'd love to see the club get to 50, 75 people again. It would be wonderful, because then we could just do more, right? So.
Before I go on to the last question, I'm going to put you guys on the spot because I didn't tell you I was going to ask about this. But would anyone like to share about an upcoming event that people could attend?
Yes, it's going to be fun. On June 14, we're going to have the first ever Bacon, Bloodies, and Brews. And what's not to love about bacon, Bloody Marys, and beer?
Yeah.
I mean, really. And it will be at North Grove from 6 to 9. And the tickets are $25 each. And there will be a variety of vendors there sharing their unique Bloody Mary mix or their unique bacon dish or their beer. And CatchMark, you don't have to be a restaurant.
Yeah,
be part of it.
we sponsored Jonah Kelly, one of our staff members who loves cooking and making things. We sponsored him. He's going to put together a bacon dish and he's going to create a Bloody Mary. There is cash prizes for the winners. They will be the Bloody Marys and the bacon dish will be reviewed, and there'll be prizes given out. So if you're interested in competing, there is money to be won as well. I think the beer is just all you got to buy it from North Grove, so that'll be good. It'll be a good event, and there'll be lots of different types of dishes, I think, and different Bloody Mary types to participate in. If you don't drink, bacon is always good to eat with a diet soda or something like that, right? So.
And the Bloody Mary is pretty easy to make non-alcoholic because the mix is really what people are trying. So use that mix.
Yeah.
Okay, well, and you can find more information on the Montague-Whitehall Rotary Club's Facebook page. So with that, what is a parting message from each of you, something that you wish that the community maybe knew about the Montague-Whitehall Rotary Club?
That we have fun. Not only is it service to the community, but it's a fun group of people, and it's just a good time.
It's a community of like-minded individuals.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to meet people these days, even in a small town. So I've enjoyed that in particular, of meeting new people and enjoying their company.
Yeah. Can you repeat the question? What do we want people to know about?
Yeah, so just any parting message that you'd like people to know maybe about.
I would just say, try it out. Come to a meeting. Be adventurous and see what we're all about. And I think that people would enjoy it. I'm going to make a shameless plug. Our Rotary district is having a district conference on May 3rd and 4th. So if you're a Rotary member and you're listening to this in any different area, register. I know that that's been a challenge for our district to get people to register and go to that. We'll actually be doing some facilitation of some of the breakout sessions as well. So there'll be members of our group doing that. So come and see what that's all about. But yeah.
Well, thank you, Esther and Amelia and Brent, for joining us.
Awesome. Thank you, Stephanie.
And we will see you all next time.
Great. Thank you.